first time that I planted in April in my Zone 3 garden, everybody pretty much thought that I had gone insane. And in a way, I don't blame them. Where I'm from, everybody really clings to that May 21st approximately day where we plant out, and thinking that any of your plants could possibly handle a frost is just like basically unheard of. I've been trying to push the envelope, and let me talk a little bit about how I got here and what I'm doing and how it's going. If you're new to the channel, hi, I'm Kristen. I live near Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, which is a Zone 3 prairie climate. I run a gardening education website called Shifting Roots, as well as a flower farm called Shifting Blooms. And so about 5 years ago, I had this package of snapdragons, and I just kept meaning to plant them, and I was busy with my son, and it just kind of never happened. And so finally I planted those things. They were super root bound, but it got done like end of June. Not the ideal time. Anyway, fast forward, and the frost happens. I don't really think too much of it, but suddenly these snapdragons that had bloomed a lot later, they were still blooming, and they kept on blooming. And it just got me to thinking like, you know, maybe everything I've been told about like what could last past the frost and like what is possible in this climate isn't actually true. And it kind of led me down a rabbit hole. So the first part of the rabbit hole was to just do a really quick Google search, like cold tolerant vegetables, cold tolerant flowers. What is there? And I got a list. And so I planted that list the next year. Lo and behold, everything that I planted on that list survived that initial frost, and kind of the rest is history. I wish back then I had knew about the search term cool flowers, because I think about 2 or 3 years into the journey, I discovered that Lisa Mason Ziegler had wrote this book and basically gave the blueprint for how to grow these cold hardy annuals. So I read the book, was super encouraged that I was on the right track, but there's one problem. She doesn't live in this climate. And you know, she says in the book, she gives kind of her best guess for how it would work, but obviously she doesn't know because she doesn't live here, right? That's what I've been doing basically. I've been trying to figure out how cool flowers work for cold climates. So if you're wanting to get into it, the first thing you got to do is just be brave, because you're going to be starting your starts like far, far sooner than conventional wisdom tells you to. And there's this period that I'm in right now in April where we've been aiming to put out our starts, but like you just don't know, because this climate is really, really famous. I don't know what the right word for it is, but for just having like surprise frost. So for example, let's go outside. So out here you can see I have these covered raised beds, and so inside here, I don't know if you can really see. No, you can't see anything, but this is where my ranunculus is, and over here I am planting out my anemones. Now we still have minus overnight temperatures. Oh, hi, we have a little helper down here. Do you want to say hi?
Hi.
So we still have overnight minus temperatures, but because I've been doing this for a couple of years and have been testing things and killing a lot of plants, I know for a fact, hey, get back here, that my ranunculus and anemones can survive what's in the forecast. I would really like to plant out a lot of my snapdragons and my stock, some of the earlier things that are really, really ready to get out. But I know from my plant killing experiments that they're probably not going to make it, or really, really suffer in what we have for temperatures overnight. But let me show you how big they are, because like I'm pretty pleased with my starts. So these are some of my snaps. I have been hardening them off since March. Basically, as soon as there was, well, okay, these are obviously not snaps, but basically ever since there were temperatures that were positive during the day, I've been kicking my plants outdoors so they would be ready basically as soon as the weather looked favorable. Now, the biggest thing to remember in all of this is that we're not just doing this willy-nilly with any plants. We're only pushing things forward that can actually handle the cold. So like, we're not pushing our tomatoes or peppers, but like, actually, believe me, I did try it once. It's so not worth it. So right now what I'm working on doing is ranunculus, anemones, snapdragons, stock, and a couple of perennials. And those are kind of like the core things that are getting pushed out. And then there'll be sort of a second wave that'll go out around May 1st. Those things are a little less frost tolerant, but like still have frost tolerance. And then, you know, the main season things that go out after the last frost. If this is something that really interests you and you want to know like the very specific details, what temperatures every single plant can kind of tolerate and how that differs from the spring to the fall, and like how you look at the weather forecast and determine whether or not you should actually try and put something out, and like basically any other detail you could think about, highly recommend taking a look at my book, The Frost-Proof Flower Garden. I'm really proud of it. It's basically a 5-6 year project that I've been working on. It'll be updated this fall as I've learned some new things, and I've been doing more stuff with the greenhouse and more trying to push things. I killed some more plants on purpose, but at least now like I know, you know, what will survive -10 when it's this young, and you know, like if you can do just a little -10 or if it can handle a lot of -10. Anyway, so many questions, but it's all in the book. Then the other thing I wanted to talk about was like, it's taken me a real long time to make a long form video. I think the last one was maybe in January, or was it December? Like, I can't even remember. I've been quite sick. I got sick in November, and it was just this cold I couldn't shake, and I just lost my voice for months and months and months. And I tried to make a video sooner, and I don't know, it just took forever. And I never do postpartum very well, and for me postpartum seems to last up until my baby's like 18 months, but I'm actually feeling a lot better now, so I feel like maybe I won't be in full grind mode, but hopefully you can expect a few more regular videos from me. And if you watch shorts, I've been sort of like working my way up to it with the shorts. So as for the flower farm side of things, I hope that it's going to be a good year. My wedding bookings have picked up substantially, so there will actually be regular wedding episodes this year, which I'm really excited about. I miss doing them. I really missed being able to make bridal bouquets on a regular basis. So let me know in the comments if there's any particular type of video you would like to see in the next little while. Otherwise, I don't know. Thanks for joining me. I so appreciate you, and also thank you for 20,000 subscribers. That feels like such a big milestone. I mean, I know in the grand scheme of YouTube, like it's still small potatoes, but it doesn't feel like small potatoes to me. It feels like a really big deal, and I remember those days 5 years ago when I first started my YouTube channel with Olaire strapped to me making naturally dyed Easter eggs of all things. And, you know, going through my terrible first videos like everybody does. And yeah, just thanks for being with me on this journey. I really appreciate it. Well, I hope you have a great day and a great growing season, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.